You have found yourself on Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm CEO Haize. That is Pat the Designer. Today's episode, we got to talk to you about the Bulls' loss against the Jazz, where the Bulls currently sit in the playoff seeding, and Patrick Williams being cleared for a full contact practice. All that and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, Pat. Fam. Man, listen.
Hey, bro. That one sucks. Last night sucked because you lost to an inferior team. That one sucks because I feel like it tells you who your team is. And I feel like all of Bulls Nation collectively felt that at once tonight.
Yeah. And before I just want to get the good out of the way because that list is shorter. To be quite frank, Zach LaVine played very aggressively, and I love the way he played in the third quarter. Now that that's out the way, yeah, this loss sucked. And seeing this game suck, the way that they lost sucked, the fact that they held Donovan Mitchell in the first half to a terrible percentage, and then he proceeded to say, "Hey, don't even worry about it. Hold my beer. I'm going to have a career night with hitting threes."
Let me set this record.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and set my own personal.
Let me set this career high on y'all head.
Jesus, man.
Bro, I'm gonna be real with you, right? Like it's like I said, it sucks, right? Because you feel like this was the loss that told you who your team is. This was the loss that I think for most Bulls fans, Lonzo Ball and Patrick Williams don't fix.
That's a fact.
This is the loss that you being 100% healthy doesn't fix. This is the loss that you having your full slate of talent on the floor, even tonight, doesn't fix because you were outplayed in the second half completely, and it never felt like you had a real chance in the game. This one was, to me, a loss that for me, I'm gonna be real, bro. This one broke me. I ain't gonna lie to you. Not to say like this is the loss that made me realize enjoy the season for what it is, Bulls fans. And it might sound a little pessimistic. It might sound a little bit like, oh, you're giving up on the Bulls. I'm not. I'm going to be riding for my team every single game in, game out. I'm not going to root for them to lose no games. I'm not going to be one of those Bulls fans that's weird. It's just like in the second quarter, the Bulls are down 5. Well, this game's over. Glad we lost. Y'all weird people. I want y'all to understand that. Y'all are weird. We're realists. Root for your team. Stop being weirdos. Anyway, I'm not gonna be like that. Like, you're gonna come into the live call, I'm gonna be cheering for my Bulls to win. But this one told me, and I feel like it's a mix, right? It's a mix of this game plus what you saw in my mind, even in the 8th seed, the class of the Eastern Conference do. And it really put into perspective where the Bulls are in the whole scheme of playoffs, championship caliber basketball, and you're still a long way away. So Bulls fans, enjoy this season for what it may bring you. Enjoy this season for the knowledge that the Bulls can get, the playoff experience that the Bulls can get. But this one hurt.
I mean, I can't word it any better than what you did. That's absolutely hurt. It sucks to see your team play in the manner in which the Bulls played tonight. To give up those corner threes so frequently to the point to where Donovan Mitchell is literally pointing to the corner like, "Hey, this is where I'm going to be at. They're not going to stop me over there. So catch me over in the corner." And it working. The pick and roll again, the Bulls getting destroyed by a pick and roll to a degree.
Yeah.
It just, listen, this, like you said, it sucked because so much of what we've been wanting to see from the Chicago Bulls, we did see in this game, as far as Zach LaVine being more aggressive, him finally looking a little bit more healthy. Now, he was limping after the game, but that makes sense. He has some knee things going on, and he played his heart out in this game. Io scored in double figures, 6 assists. He got cooked a little bit, but still scored very efficiently. Vooch didn't really do very well, but he did good on the rebounding portion of it, and the Bulls still lost by 15 points, right? It's not like it was a close loss and that happened. 15 points. I don't know, man. I don't know. And I understand, we'll talk about Lonzo coming back. We'll talk about Patrick Williams coming back. All that sounds good and everything like that. But just being a realist, and I know some Bulls fans are going to like listening to this episode because we are going to be honest about it. This loss just continued to show how we are not in the same class as certain teams. And it's good to actually know where you sit, but we are just not in the class of some of these teams that we want to be in the class with.
I'm of the mindset ignorance is bliss. Don't tell me where I sit until you beat me in the playoffs, dog. I want to go in thinking that I really got a shot at winning the NBA Finals, bro. Like every time, like so for me, like I look at this game right, and it's one of those games where like not even I look at this team, and the part that irritates me, that irks me, is that you're not improving in the areas that we thought you would improve in if you got guys back. Mm-hmm. And the part that irks me is there's the portion of Bulls Nation that says, oh, the Bulls have been frauds all season. They've been frauds. They're terrible. And I want to have a reason to debate them. I want to be able to say they're not frauds. They're not the team that they've shown us during the 5-game losing streak. But tonight, you lost this game on the exact same things that you've been losing games on when you didn't have Alex Caruso in the lineup. You lost this game on wide open corner threes, on not enough defensive intensity. I mean, even in the fact that you caused them to have 16 turnovers and you won the steals battle. The Bulls got 10 steals in this game. You still left them open consistently from the 3-point line. Like they weren't going to knock it down. Again. I want y'all to understand this. We should not be losing to a dude named Royce. If it's not the 5'9", we should not be losing to him. Royce O'Neal literally only knocked down 9 points. All 3 of them were 3-pointers in the second half. I don't know if y'all understand this, but that's the half of basketball you need to win. And so for me, it's like, listen, Jordan Clarkson, cooking you. Okay, possible 6 Man of the Year candidate. Donovan Mitchell, career night. Okay, getting busy. 14 and 20 from Rudy Gobert. Okay, that's what he does. How do you stop that team when their guys are cooking? You know what you don't do? You don't let Nickeil Alexander-Walker go off for 16 points. You don't let him start cooking you. So for me, like it's what do we talk? We're talking about the same things, dog. Yeah. We're talking about consistently the same problems. And I'm not going to come in here on the Locked On Nation and for Bulls Nation and keep saying the same things every single night. Enjoy this team for what it is. They're a fun team to watch. I'll tell you this, it's 110% better than what we watched last season. I don't know how Peck and Big Dave did it. Shout out to y'all. Y'all are masters of the game because, like, I'd be ready to lose my stuff every single night. I'd start every podcast with, like, these dudes suck based on last season. Like, so, like, we're in a better place. That is honest. But enjoy the highs for what the highs are. But when it's low, understand why it's low. And tonight, I understand why it's low. And all of these losses, I understand why the lows are low. Because the Bulls continue to do the same things that play them out of games.
There you go. And one thing that I've been saying for the longest on my channel is that the things that the Bulls are losing because still were there when the Bulls were winning. They just were able, DeMar, either in the fourth quarter, they were doing enough to overlook it. And I think some Bulls fans have allowed the wins to make them forget to be objective in evaluating a game. A lot of the things that are rearing their heads now have always been there. We're just seeing now that the other teams of the NBA have made enough adjustments to take even more advantage of it, whereas the Bulls just have not. And it's turning into their Achilles heel.
And that's the thing, right, dog? Think about this. 25, 5, and 7 from DeMar, 50% shooting. 33, 2, and 5 from Zach LaVine, 11 of 20. Vooch, 10 and 11. He was 5 for 14. Okay. I didn't expect Vooch to have a big game. Rudy Gobert's down. He's 7'11".
Yeah.
Alex Haru, or no, I'm sorry, not Alex. Ayo Dosunmu, 15. 15. Yeah, 15, 3 and 6. Kobe White, 12, 1 and 3. It's one side of the ball. You scored enough points. But if you don't stop them on the 110 points is enough to win a basketball game. But not when you give them 125.
Definitely. Well, we'll get into more about that and the Bulls playoff seeding currently, but first, we gotta
sucks, dog.
definitely
I'm sorry, Bulls Nation. I want y'all to understand. We're sorry. This loss sucks, dog.
Definitely. But let's talk about our next partner. And they have a product that I use every day. And I started taking Athletic Greens because I just wanted more energy. With one scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens, which I don't even know what that word means, but to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, nervous system, your immune system, your energy, your recovery, and focus. All these things all in one simple product. It costs you less than $3 a day. You're investing in your health, and it's cheaper than your coffee habit. Right now, it's the time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with the convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into flu and cold season. It's just one scoop in your cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills or supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/NBA network. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/NBA network. NBA network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. All right, Pat, we got to talk about it. The Bulls have now officially dropped. They've been holding on to number 4 for a while. They're now number 5 with a ton of games against really good opponents that lay ahead. I ask you this. Can the Bulls stop the bleeding? Do they drop lower than number 5 by the time the playoffs get started? Where do you think everything is going to sit for the Chicago Bulls?
I don't know if they drop lower than 5 just because I don't think that Toronto and Cleveland are going to climb the ladder on you.
Okay.
I don't think Brooklyn's going to climb that high. Brooklyn's still 6 games back from you, I believe, right now. Something like that. 5 games back from you, I believe, right now. So I think that the Bulls will probably stay around that 4 or 5 spot. And at this point, you're talking about stopping the bleeding. I mean, I don't know. Because honestly, like I can't look at the effort you put on paper tonight and think, oh, you're gonna go in there and beat the best team in the NBA tomorrow or Friday night. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't look at the production, the effort, the fight that this team has had over. I mean, what can we say? The last 2 weeks, and say that. I mean, in our last 10, let's be real, Bulls fan. In our last 10, we're 3-7. The 3-7. I get ready for 2-8. Like I don't want to be the pessimistic guy, but I'm being real here. Like I'm looking at how this lays out with our full slate of pieces, and to me, like if there's a stoppage of bleeding, if there's some sort of thing that the Bulls can do, I would think you would have done it versus the Sacramentos and the Utahs of the NBA. Because as this schedule continues on, you're not getting into a better place. Unfortunately, Bulls fans, hey, guess what? You got the Suns, you got the Raptors. Okay, Raptors might be a reprieve. You know who you got after that? The Bucks. The Bucks might be, we might be able to take a couple of nights off here. Oh, okay. You still got the Clippers, Heat, and Bucks again finishing out your season. That last 5 is ridiculous. So, like, do I see the Bulls falling a ton? I don't, because I think that Cleveland is also going to struggle to win games. I think Toronto's still going to be, kind of up and down. I think Brooklyn's I think Brooklyn's cruising, dog. I think Brooklyn really want to just be like, hey, yeah, we're the 8th seed. We're gonna upset Miami, and then we're gonna go win an
Ooh,
NBA championship. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? Like, I feel
Yeah.
like Brooklyn is kind of like, let's be real. If you're the 1 seed and you get Brooklyn, you're pissed. Like, you are pissed right now.
Yeah.
But it's one of those where, like, I look at where the Bulls are, and maybe you avoid some teams in that 4th, 5th spot. At this point, that's what you're hoping for, right?
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's what you're hoping for. You're hoping that you avoid the Brooklyns, you avoid the Phillies, you avoid, and you hate to say that like you're ducking the competition, but legitimately at this point you are. So I'm like almost hoping the Bulls stay 4 or 5, because at least then I know we're playing Boston, we're playing Cleveland, we're playing Toronto. We're avoiding a lot of the struggle teams that are going to cause us problems in the playoffs.
That 4, it seems like we're destined for a collision course for Boston, unless they just go on a tear and they even get up to number 3.
Yeah.
But it seems like we're destined to do that. So this is the question that I have to ask, and I want to ask this to kind of put everything home and maybe calm down some Bulls fans. Maybe it'll piss them off some more. We'll see.
That's what we do.
That 4 or 5 matchup. Not having home court advantage in that, do you still think that is a winnable series for a fully healthy Chicago Bulls?
Yes, because I think that Boston is riding the coattails of a very easy schedule, we've seen a lot of teams do this season. I think that the Bulls and Boston can match up well. I think that if you have the away matchup, like I can see the Bulls winning the game in Boston. So like the home court matchup really goes away if you win game 1 or game 2, if you split there. So like I could see the Bulls doing that. I still see the Bulls getting out of the first round. Like that hasn't changed for me. The concerning part is about when you get to that second round. And I think your easiest path to get there, as weird as it is to say, is to stay in the middle of the pack. You know, I was all for going to or getting the 2 or the 3 and getting Cleveland, Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of have to stay in that 3, 4, 5 range to get a matchup that Bulls fans are going to feel comfortable about to win the game or to win a series. And unfortunately that sucks, but it really is what it is, because like you look at Boston, like I said, they're winning games, they're beating teams that you got to say we haven't beat.
That's true.
But they're beating them usually with somebody missing or somebody not in the same position or somebody that, you know, struggling, they're having an off night or something like that, a night you don't expect over 7. But then you look at what they do last night, destroyed the Golden State Warriors. You know what I'm saying? So it's like who are they? I feel better playing this team than I do playing the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
But I don't know, dog. It's one of those where it's like at this point, I just want to see the Bulls be competitive and get the playoff experience.
Agreed.
And that's how I feel about it. I mean, do you see a matchup in the playoffs right now where the Bulls are listed at that is amazingly favorable for us?
No. I mean, don't get me. Boston doesn't scare. I know they're playing amazing ball right now, and amazing defense. I do like that. I like that matchup because I think it's going to be a competitive first round, but it's the first round that the Bulls can win. They're not, but there's no cakewalks in this for the Chicago Bulls. There's no team that you can look at that and say, "Hey, this is an easy sweep." And because of that, the 4 or 5 it seems like we're destined for. We're really destined for. So,
yeah.
I mean,
it sucks though.
Yeah.
Hey, bro. Hey, I ain't even. This is one of them episodes, man. Bulls Nation, y'all gotta understand. This is one of them episodes. Like, we're doing this fresh off of the game. We're doing it. We're licking our wounds trying to get through this, dog. Like, this one is a loss that legitimately hurt, I think, all of Bulls Nation's soul, because it was one of those where it was like, you're going to come back with a little more fire after losing to one of the worst teams in the NBA, right? Nope. Still going to get our heads kicked in. Let's go to Bet Online, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's break down this read here. It's that time of year again. College basketball tournament is finally upon us. I like how they call it the college basketball tournament. Like it's not March Madness. March Madness is upon us, man. From the latest odds, contests, player props, betonline.net is the number one source for all your betting needs and info. BetOnline remains the best spot for all your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. And fam, it's not just basketball. BetOnline is continued source for all your sports wagering information needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino games. Head to the website today and use your mobile device to learn about the trends and actions. BetOnline, where the game starts. That's all it is. No else. That's it. Okay. BetOnline, where the game starts, man. Get into it with BetOnline. Shout out to them. Thought it was more.
Oh, you're good, brother. You're good. You're good. So we did get some positive news in today. Patrick Williams has been cleared for full contact. Now, I look back after Derrick Jones Jr. and Alex Caruso have been the two Bulls that have been out for an extended period of time that we can compare right now to. When they were cleared for full contact practice, Derrick Jones Jr. was back available that next game, and Alex Caruso was 2 games before he came back and returned after competing in his first full contact practice. Now, Patrick Williams did not get to compete in practice today, but he will Thursday. He will compete in a full contact practice. So do we think that we get Patrick Williams back by that game Monday, or do you think it's going to be later in next week?
I think you're looking at. I mean, as far as I've been hearing, they've been talking heavy about Friday. I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah. I don't think it makes a difference either way. Anyway, so you might as well rest the young man a little bit more time. Let him get his legs under him. If we get him back in that game Monday, I could see it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's about where you want to see Patrick Williams come back, right? Like you want to see Pat Will come back in a game where he's able to, at a minimum, have an impact there. That Raptors game might be your best game. You want to see him work back in. I mean, even if you feel like you're not going to play him on the second of a back-to-back, maybe you do save him for that Bucks game Tuesday. He does give you a little more length. He does make you a little bit better defensively. He does do a little bit better things for you in that position where you can go out there and run a lineup against Bobby Portis and Giannis Antetokounmpo that includes Pat Will. But to me, I could see him coming back for that Raptors game. I could see him being a factor in that. I could see him, you know what I'm saying? Because that's a game. It's one of those games where, like, you don't take it lightly, but you also realize, like, this is a team whose possible best player is their rookie. I would rather see Pat Williams trying to figure out what he's doing versus Scotty Barnes than seeing Pat Williams try to figure out what the heck he's doing versus Giannis Antetokounmpo.
That makes sense. It's going to be interesting because I think they're probably going to look and see how he responds. And, Billy Donovan even said something today, which, I read it, that Pat may spend a stint with the Windy City Bulls.
Yeah, I saw that.
If he does spend a stint with the Windy City Bulls, then I don't think he comes back even next week. I'm looking at maybe that game against Cleveland on next Saturday, the 26th.
Is he in? He's on the road trip, right?
Yeah, he's coming. He's been traveling with the team. Apparently, he didn't travel with them today because it said that he was going to meet the team in Phoenix on Friday. So I guess he went back to Chicago to get that final evaluation to be cleared for full contact. So if he is, if he's going to be on the road with the team, then that pretty much says, hey, maybe it's not going to be a stint with the Wind, because I don't understand the point of flying him out to then send him back to be with the Windy City Bulls.
Right.
But at the end of the day, with whatever it comes to with Patrick Williams, they already said he's going to be coming off the bench initially. He's not going to go right back into the starting lineup. I don't see the purpose of a stint with the Windy City Bulls. We need Patrick to get about 5 to 6 games in, and it looks like he's going to get considerably more than that before the playoffs. That's all that matters. It's nice to have him back. It's good to see him make the progression that's needed. And that's really where I sit with it. At the end of the day, Especially, and I don't know if it's because I'm just down after this loss, brother. But
Definitely down,
at
brother.
the end of the day,
It's
it
all
kind of
good.
just it just is what it is at this point, bro. Like I'm just
Let me ask you this, right?
yeah.
Because of course there's time. There's a good amount of time, right? We're talking about him possibly coming back in the Toronto or the Bucks game. You got what? 9 games, 10 games before that.
Yeah.
Um, do you throw him back in the starting lineup, seeing as how Tristan's not starting? Do you put him in over Javante, seeing as how Tristan's not starting? Do you start him off? Hey, throw this young man in there, let him figure it back out. He was a starter when he went out. Let him figure it out at the starting power forward position.
I would, but then again, they play people a lot who are supposed to be a lot smarter than me to make these decisions. Because in my mind, this is my mind, right? Is that the
Yep.
Bulls are losing? It'd be different if the Bulls are on a winning streak and you didn't want to mess up the chemistry. The Bulls are suffering right now, right?
Soft.
The bleeding needs to stop. And so at the end of the day, even if Patrick Williams starts, but he still only plays 12 to 15 minutes a game, but at least he starts, you're working in his chemistry with that starting lineup where you ultimately want him to be. You're letting him get some repetitions with that team. I just don't see I guess the benefit in having him come off the bench. Well, I guess you got Alex Caruso back now who can set him up and do some things with him, but you need size. And so at that point, if you're bringing him off the bench, all your size is on the bench with him and Tristan.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you on that. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, like, I would get it if you're starting Tristan, but you haven't put Tristan in the starting lineup since you played Milwaukee, I believe. So, like, you've kind of gone away from that lineup unless you have a huge sized lineup, and I get most teams don't have that. So it's interesting to me in that aspect of like the game plan on that.
Yeah.
And I would love to see him build that chemistry up. Like, does him coming back make Vooch's life easier? Because early in the season, we didn't get to see it much, but like I was telling us, I was like, watch the game, watch what he's doing that doesn't pop up in the stat sheets. Like, I get it. That's not what you want your 4th overall pick to do. But watch what he does that doesn't pop up in the stat sheets with how he's boxing out, how he's allowing Vooch to get these boards, how he's doing so much. Like, is Patrick Williams, like, as much as we've said, and I know I've said it, don't rely on this rookie to come in here and just change the entire game for the Chicago Bulls. Is Patrick Williams a key that unlocks Vooch being a little bit more consistent? I don't know how much more consistent 20 and 14 you can get, but being a little bit more consistent on both the offensive end and the defensive end that makes his life a little bit easier. Maybe that opens things up for the Bulls.
I think so. I think what he brings in skill set makes everybody's life easier, right?
Yeah.
Vooch is terrible in pick and roll. Patrick Williams is a lot better on that. I think also when you look at when you look at just the skill set that Patrick Williams has, and that's why I've said to a lot of Bulls fans, roster construction and how you build the roster is as important as individual players. And some people forget sometimes that the way that we've been seeing Vooch, this team was not built for him to be playing out there. And this is no offense to either player because I love what they bring, but a 6'4" power forward in Javonte Green and a rookie point guard. Having Lonzo Ball out there and what he does in communication and what he also does in pick and roll defense, and then Patrick Williams to help do the little gritty things that Vooch doesn't do. That's what the optimal version of this team that AK and Eversley built and what we're supposed to be seeing out there on the court.
Yeah.
The fact that we're not seeing it is because that's just not the way this original roster was constructed to be. Now, there is something to be said to, okay, but as we've seen with injuries, once that went away, it completely threw everything off. Yeah, it did. Absolutely. And I trust AK and Eversley to go in and fix the back end of that bench to solve that in the next offseason. But to answer your original question, yes, I think what Patrick Williams brings is important enough that we need to see it out there with the starting lineup. And I think he can definitely help with a lot of the things that we're seeing out. He doesn't fix them. Let me be clear. It doesn't fix it, but it can help.
It's going to be interesting to see, man, because I want to see. I agree with you, right? The one thing you said is the pick and roll defense. P. Will can figure that out. Vooch can't, and I don't expect Vooch to. Like, I think Bulls fans don't remember, like, Vooch couldn't play defense when we got him here. So, like, So like Bulls fans are like, he's terrible defensively. Yeah, we knew that. I watched him in Orlando.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by that. Like, figure it out. He was never this bad. Oh, he was. You just didn't watch him. Go rewatch that Philly series versus Joel Embiid. He's been this bad. It's okay. But Patrick Williams can make a lot of that better defensively. Before we get out of here, you think a little bit of remorse on AK's part for not adding more at the deadline?
I don't think so, because I think that what we're seeing with AK is that he wants to develop what's on this roster. And considering the Bulls have a full mid-level exception, they have a trade exception, they have, we've seen AKU sign in trades very well to bring in DeMar and how they used it for Lonzo. So I don't think I think AK wanted to hold on to his pieces because he didn't get a chance to see them healthy. And he feels comfortable in what his ability to add to this team is in the offseason. So no, I don't think that the front office, I know Bulls fans definitely are second guessing us not making moves at the deadline, but I don't think AK and Eversley are second guessing it at all.
I rock with it. I rock with it. Man, I hope this mess works out, man. Hey, listen, we both down on the Bulls tonight, dog. This is a tough night. Hopefully, we beat Phoenix tomorrow and we back on championship 7 boat, man. That's what I'm trying to get back to out here, man, that one sucks, dog. When we played them Friday, man. Hey, Friday, y'all not gonna get a live from us Friday. When you get a live again, Monday. Hey, Monday. Sunday night, man. Whatever, Monday. Y'all know what it is. Monday, hopefully, is a much more cheery live.
Well, we'll see, because then we got another game Monday. So, yeah. So, man, we'll see. The Bulls got us working, man. That's
tonight hurt, dog. It was the kick to the gut. That was
it really was.
Let me hit you with the knee.
Let me tell y'all something for any listeners before we go. The fact that you got a cohesive episode and it wasn't me and Pat just saying, "Man, these mother suck." Y'all, it's a testament to how the quality content we produce here, because I'm telling you right now.
You know what it was? Because it wasn't even a game that I could get pissed about. It was just the game. I felt like a disappointed father in this one. I was just like,
that's a fact. Yeah. Yeah. It's
like when Kanye did the head shake where he's just looking at the camera. That's how I felt tonight. Like,
fair enough. Well, Pat, go ahead and give me your social media, man. Let's get up out of here.
Hey, man, follow me on everything at Pat the Designer, PATTHEDESIGNER. We not doing it the hood way. I can type and spell. Also follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls.
Absolutely. You can follow me at CEO Haize at CEO HAIZE. Mailbag episode tomorrow to end the week out. So if you want to get any of your thoughts, comments, concerns out there, get them in now. The voicemail is in the description. Make sure that you're going in. You can leave that voicemail so that we can answer. We want to hear from you guys. It's one of the traditions we haven't brought back as of yet, but that number is 331-979-1369. But for Pat the Designer, I'm CEO Haize, and we out. Peace, y'all.
Stay safe out there, man.